Hey, what's up, family? This mental stimulant, and I'm coming through. I was gonna go live, but like I said, I don't like going live, you know. But I record these messages because I can record them as I move around, as they come to me. And I was told to share some occurrences with you guys, especially those that need renewal of faith in this time. You know, so much is going on. We're experiencing a lot. You know, a lot of people may see what they're going through as a lot of suffering and things of this nature. And a lot of these things are taking place for various reasons. Some people are experiencing karma, either from this life or a past life for those that have lived more than one life. Some of the chosen ones are going through initiation, which is periods of suffering, you know, test of faith, so much, you know, but this is the year that things are supposed to be corrected and made right. So before I tell the instances that I do, I want you to always remember, lean upon your faith, man. Lean upon your faith. That is the most strongest resource that you have living this 3D life. When you deviate and move away from the creator of all things, you burden yourself. You make things harder because the creator is where your strength is. Okay? Now, this video isn't just for chosen ones. I'm talking about everyone. And it's a multitude of different beings here that are present in this realm. We got reptilians, we got skinwalkers, we got those with no souls. We have chosen beings that are from different parts of the galaxy. We have earth angels, we have shamans, spirit guides that are in human form. We have reincarnated Egyptian royalty that's present, etc., etc. But I want to share some of my instances, my experiences with you, because I know a lot of people will look at what they go through and be like, if God is real, why is God allowing me to endure such things? So many different things that burden us, you know. And no one or two stories is exactly the same, but collectively our stories are identical, but they're based upon what we were meant to learn in this time, you know. All of us are meant to learn different things. All of us have different strengths and weaknesses, you know. But I want to say, if you have so many people doing witchcraft, voodoo, etc., summoning of these dark beings and entities and energies, a lot of people say they don't believe in that. It's just energy. I beg to differ. All of these things have a spirit. They may not have a soul, but they all have spirits, whether dark or not. There's time frames that people and things, different dimensions exist that we're just not privy to. And we're so closed-minded that I don't know why anyone would believe that when the creator of all things created us, that's all he created. That's crazy. All of this vast world, we do not know what is inside of space. We don't know what's really in the depths of the sea, you know. But it will be very foolish to think that we are the only life forces here, when there's been millennia of different civilizations. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I say that mainly because, you know, people have such faith in these demonic entities, the summoning of spirits, bad spirits and energies and jinns and all types of things that are ancient my one question that I always seem to ask is, if all of these things are real, you believe so much in all of this dark stuff, why would you believe that there's no God? It's crazy. You think that all of these dark energies, where did they come from? Something created them. With all things that's bad and good is balance. So if there's bad in the world, there gotta be good, right? There gotta be someone overseeing this whole thing, or several someones, because the creator of all things is the top dog. And I'm saying this in layman terms so everybody will understand. But there's also gods and goddesses that lived before, that have reached such level in the eyes of the creator that they were given certain ranks, certain capabilities. You know, not to say that they are the Almighty. They are a version. They were given certain capabilities to be God-like. That's why it says we were created in His image. It's not really saying that, oh, we look like God and all of that. It's much deeper than that. When you acquire these different levels of consciousness and you grow spiritually, God rewards you. When you go through these several tests of faith and you don't waver, God rewards you. When you're not tempted by the world, God rewards you. When you lean upon love and compassion for each other, God rewards you. You may not see it, but He does. Okay? And I've said before, all of us here, we're here for a reason. Whether anybody steps into their purpose or not, you're not just here to shuck and jive. You're here for a reason. Your spirit needs it. And all of us have spirits that have lived different amounts of time. Meaning, some of us are really old souls. Our spirits have lived over and over and over again. We just reincarnate in different avatars. And some, spiritually, it's their first time here. They may be up in age, and spiritually, this is their first go-around, their first lifetime. Whereas that's not the same for everybody. Some been here many, many lifetimes. And this is what bothered me when people go to doing spell work on people that they don't know. Spiritually, that is. Because you out here, say this is your first lifetime spiritually, and you attacking someone that's your senior, that may be younger than you in this 3D realm, but older than you in spirit, because they didn't live several lifetimes. This your first go around. And you think that you ain't gonna get your ass spanked out here? Like, people are very naive, and even when it comes to doing dark and demonic stuff, like, there is rules to this. Rules. God's first rule is touch not my anointed. That means don't mess with my people. They're here for a job. They're here on my behalf. If you try to harm them, not saying that you're going to get away with it or it's going to work, but if you attempt, you're going to be met with force. Now, some of God's people, some of the chosen, some of them haven't even awakened yet. Because we're all meant to awaken when we're meant to awaken, when it's time for us to get in action and step into our purpose. No two journeys are the same. Once someone wakes up and steps in their purpose and you guys attack them, they have protection, spiritual protection from the Creator, the Almighty, the being that created all of this. We ain't talking about these buildings. We talking about living beings. when someone is unawakened, although meant to be chosen, we also have free will to step into our purpose, to step into the jobs that we were placed here for. Not everyone steps into their purpose. Some people desire to be of the world when they were meant to help free the ones still asleep. Not everyone stands up and steps into their purpose. And most of everybody hears the call. But when I was 2, in the country, there's a such thing where people burn their trash. They don't have the same system as far as trash is concerned. They burn their trash, right? On my granny's farm, she had a lot of shotgun shells, boxes of shotgun shells that she had misplaced, mishandled, you know. And some of them had spilled in the trash and was in the yard. So when she went to burn the trash, a lot of them exploded. And me, I'm about 2-3 yay high. I'm not right up on the fire, but I'm too close to it. And one of the bullets exploded and hit me in my face. Think about a 2-year-old being hit with a shotgun, the impact from a shotgun shell. Think about that. There's no way that a 2-year-old should survive that. Yet I did with only a scratch. I had to get some stitches. You know what I'm saying? But nowhere near did it hit anything in my face. It just pierced the skin and left a deep gash. That's a supernatural occurrences. You see people that get in these horrific accidents where these vehicles is tore up. And there has been instances where someone walked away without a scratch. Those are supernatural occurrences. Because there's a force, an angel, or God himself that's present that's like, no, you have a job. It's not time for you to come back yet. A lot of this stuff, it'd be hard for us to wrap our minds around. And then some of us are just naive. But these type of things, man, some people don't survive it. When I was also young, I was faced with a demonic entity that had overtaken a canine dog. And as a child, it just looked like something you see in the movies, And my mind capacity couldn't understand, but spiritually, my higher self already knew. Since I touched down in this realm, dark energy, forces, the devil, so to speak, has been after my ass. But one thing you must believe, although the devil is very real, so is God. And the devil has to always stand down when God says so. Next, there was an occurrence where I was put in situations to be molested, trafficked, all types of nonsense, man. I've experienced a lot in my young life. Although I'm a little older in age, I would be considered middle age, I guess. But I have experienced a lot. And I know, that it's only the grace of God and my faith in God, I don't care what's going on. I don't care what type of suffering I may have to endure. I will face it all with the Creator. I'm not going to deviate from my faith. I don't care what's going on. Because I have seen with my own eyes, even without understanding, that God walks with me. That the angels walk with me. That my ancestors walk with me. I am heavy out here. I was in an instance where I was in a domestic violence situation, a relationship that mentally my mind wasn't mature enough for a while, because I was raised sheltered and I had experienced a lot of things emotionally, to where I guess you could say, I used to get offended when I hear people say I was naive, but I was. Because I was sheltered in such a sense. I had no knowledge of the outside world. I hadn't experienced anything. I was such a trusting person where I thought that everyone was like me. Everyone was kind. Everyone loved each other, etc., etc. And I had to take a crash course through life to see that is not so. I had to learn that, people are great pretenders. People will be next to you, family, friends, etc., and smile all in your face, clap for you, and all that, and it all be fake. It all be fake. A lot of times people just want to be in your energy, one, to do spell work on you, because it works better when you of low vibration and they're in direct vicinity to you. They want to know what you got going on, what you working on, different little milestones you may cross, so they can destroy it. Like, we be having our devils planted right in our lives, and most times we love them to death, and they're there to kill and destroy. So I was in a domestic violence relationship for a very long time. If you go through some of my other videos, I explained it a little bit more. But there was one instance where there was a physical fight, right? And I was choked with such force, with such a capacity, that I was out of here. I had lost my bowels and everything. And if you research, when someone loses their bowels, that's because their spirit left. The body has no capacity anymore. But I was brought right back. God said, no, you're not finished what I told you to do. And I hadn't even awakened at this time yet. Think about that. For someone to be choked so bad with such force that it takes their life, it's not hard to do. There has been many, 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 many accidents, vehicular accidents that I have been in, where I should have been a goner. I used to drive commercial vehicles, and I was in a real bad accident to where I was on the outside of the commercial truck when the truck started moving on its own. I'm hanging off on the side. I should not have survived that. I don't even know where I got the strength and will from, but it wasn't the strength, my strength or my will. It was supernatural. There has been instances when I have been on the road when it's ice out, and I have slid one particular time almost into a ravine. My wheels were not spinning. They weren't getting any traction. And I'm sitting there in slow motion praying, because there's nothing else I could have done. And while I'm praying, there was a force that pushed the back of my vehicle the other direction. So I spent completely away from it. There was no wind. There was no nothing. Something bumped up against the car and knocked me the other way. All praise be to the Most High God. There has been instances where people were collaborating to have me kidnapped. People were collaborating to have me gang assaulted. And these were people close to me. In any instance, I would be upset about something like this, because what kind of vile people would do this to another human being? You hear me? But I'm not, that's not the point that I'm trying to make. The point of it is, guys, arm yourselves with understanding. You have to have this type of understanding for yourself. Do not let people tell you what you should believe and what you shouldn't believe. Who are they to tell you what you should believe? No one can govern your life but you. A lot of times we listen to these people out here that don't know no more than us. Blind leading the blind. Why not find the information for yourself? Why not research it? Why not care enough about yourself to really do the work? Even if it's just getting a regular prayer regimen, a time that you set aside for you and the Creator, not no one else. You don't need no one to be a middleman to your prayer between you and your Father. And I've also said that before. We sit here and we give all these outside people authority over our spiritual relationships with the Creator, which is crazy to me. In the real world, I will not allow anybody to speak for me. I speak for myself. Don't nobody make no decisions for me. So why would you allow someone to speak for you when it comes to you and your relationship with God? That's crazy. And people will have you believe that you need someone to shepherd you, because you don't know all of the verbiage and all of that. That's not necessary. That's not necessary. You talk to the Creator just like I'm sitting here talking right now. You teach your children to pray so they can also build their own relationship with their Creator. Not, mommy, go speak to the Creator for my child. Yes, it helps that you pray for your family, yes. But they also got to pray for themselves. We handicapping our children because they have no relationship with the Creator. They are being convinced and walked into all this demonic stuff because they have no relationship with the Creator. Why is that? The lies are just being regurgitated to serve someone else's narrative. And I thank the Creator, I swear. I thank the Creator, my ancestors, the spirit guides, and the archangels, because, man, they hold me down. But there was once a time I had no knowledge of this. I had no knowledge that we had guardian angels. We had spiritual guides to walk us through this life so we can evolve. But if you don't have no relationship with them, they're basically sitting idle. They might say something to you here and there, and you don't even have the ears to hear them. So they on a permanent coffee break, watching you just fuck off what you supposed to be doing. And then some people are here to wreak havoc. Some people are here meant to be dark. Good and evil equals balance. I was reminded of all these things. Like I said, I'm still learning. But there's a lot that I'm privy to. Because I had to learn this stuff by spiritual guidance. I wasn't taught none of this. My family is led astray. Respectfully, I'm not down talking nobody, but it's the truth. Because they were taught the same thing I was taught. And I don't 100% subscribe to it anymore. Because I sought out the truth myself and not just taking anyone's word for it or going off someone else's understanding. I go off my own understanding, my own personal relationship with the Creator. Ain't nobody going to peer pressure me into believing anything. Ain't nobody going to talk a good game to me and I just shrug my shoulders like, I guess they're right. It sounds right. Nah, I ain't going for that. Because you got to think about it. Your soul is at stake. You going to let someone lead your soul astray? We talking about eternal damnation off someone else's word? I ain't going. I am not sheep. There was once a period where I went along to get along with everybody else, you know? And I basically took another person's word as gold. But a lot of these people that you're letting shepherd you are very wicked. And when you're in agreement with them, whatever they got going on in their filthy spiritual life, you are in agreement with, and you don't even have no knowledge of. That's why they say don't let everybody place their hands upon you and pray upon you, because that puts you in agreement with them. Don't lay down with everybody, because that puts you in agreement with whatever they got going on and you don't even know. You know, a lot of times people will say, well, look at people's lives. If their life is going bad, then spiritually they gotta be, bad. That's not necessarily the truth. Because a lot of people that look like they doing so good, they didn't fucking sacrifice their children, their aunties, and all types of stuff. Because God rewards you, but so also does the devil. But the only difference is the devil stuff is transactional and it's only temporary. You don't get to keep that stuff. You're being tricked. And once you go into agreement with the devil, you got to keep doing little devilish things over and over and over and over again just to try to hold on to what was given from you. Because the first time you don't do something that energy pushes you to do, you're screwed. Or when God just say you have done too much, I'm about to spank your ass. Man, all I want to do is do what I agreed to do, man. And I'm not going to be quiet about this stuff, man. When I have these premonitions and these visions and all of my senses are operating fully, I tell you guys everything I see here. Because I'm meant to give these messages. Even if I don't even understand who it's for or what it's really talking about, the person that it's for knows. So for all the little destiny swappers and all of that, y'all had y'all chance when I was still asleep. This is what you guys don't understand. You cannot step in shoes that I'm already wearing. So keep doing X, Y, and Z and all these different things. It's pointless now. What you guys don't realize is y'all let me evolve already. I done already ranked up. I'm not naive like I was maybe 5 years ago. All of the chances that y'all had working behind the scenes, collaborating, trying to fuck me over, y'all had y'all chance. Now that your missions have been unsuccessful, you're going to have to get that work. We talking about somewhere 100 years of karma. You will live out the rest of your life suffering. It will pass on to generations, this suffering from your actions in this lifetime. A lot of you have damned yourself, chasing wealth and frivolous things. But to everybody else, man, I tell you guys all the time, pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. And renew your relationship with the Creator. Set a schedule for you and the Creator that y'all sit, you talk, and kick it with the Creator. The more that you do this, you'll start to hear Him respond. Or she. Because I hate when people say, oh, it's a he. God is not gender specific. God is a being, the creator of all things. How can it be either or? Like, that's just like looking at things with a small mind. Nobody knows if the creator is what the genitalia of the creator is. It's crazy and a little funny to me, but I understand, because I also had that mindset before. And out of habit, sometimes I still say that Father, Creator. It doesn't matter. Just like, everybody from different cultures, different walks of life, and all of this, everybody's hung up on the name of the Creator. When the Creator has already said he acknowledges the fact that I will be called by many names, by various groups of people, because I have served certain purposes in different groups of people's lives, to where these names just depict what I have done for them. A lot of people get caught up on the name. No, you have to call them this. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Do you pray? Do you pray to the Most High God that created everything? God knows your heart and your intention when you pray. God also knows when you praying and idolizing something else that is not Him. Don't get so caught up on the specifics. That's where a lot of people get caught up. Listening to these people that's standing in these holy places, and they done desecrated these places that are meant to be holy. Because behind the scenes, these people do not have control over their bodies. They're very sexually inclined. How can you shepherd me and you do things in the night that you're not supposed to be doing? Outside of your covenant with your spouse. But I ain't getting into all that. Y'all keep following these people. Follow yourself and the Creator. If you want to go get a mentor or what have you, then you do that. Me personally, I even didn't want a mentor, because I felt like I was too vulnerable to be led astray. And I wasn't going to allow no other human being to lead me to the slaughter. No, anything my Father want me to know, He going to bring it to me. He's going to tell me. Anything outside of that, you know what I'm saying? I may have different people sent to me that I come in contact with that the Creator has put on my path that may tell me different information. And I'm going to go research it. I'm going to look at it in more than one place, because there's variations to everything. I'm not just going to take one concept from one place. I'm going to look at it in different places, put it together and view it in such a wide range to where I come to my own conclusion. And then even if I'm still unsure, I'll go in prayer and ask the Creator, and the Creator bring another spokesman to give it to me, the answers that I seek. Like, we got to get out of this. We need someone to hold our hands to have a relationship with the Creator. That's almost where everybody goes wrong. You don't need nobody to speak for you. You're a grown person. Do you have someone to speak for you when you handling your business? But I just wanted to share a few things with you guys, man. I know a lot of people not going to listen. A lot of people going to think I'm rambling. A lot of people going to say I don't know what I'm talking about, crazy and all this. And all of that is fine. But this is for the people that's going to get it. Lean not to your own understanding, man. Always remember, your thoughts is not the thoughts of the Creator. The Creator does things with such grace, man. And I watched the way that the Creator moves. It's like he solved so many problems with one situation. He touches the lives of so many with one situation. That thing of killing more than one bird with one stone. You hear me? That's how the Creator operates. I love you so much. Have a great day, y'all. Peace.